Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis. So today we are studying Srīmad Bhāgavatam, second canto, fifth chapter, titled The Cause of All Causes, text number 34. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Varshapuga Sahasrante Tad Andam Mudakeshayam Kalakarma Svabhavastho Jivo Jivam Ajivaya. Varshapuga Sahasrante Tad Andam Mudakeshayam Kalakarma Svabhavasto Jivo Jivam Ajivavat. Varshapuga Sahasrante Tad Andam Mudakeshayam Kalakarma Svabhavasto Jivo Jivam Ajivayat. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thus all the universes remained thousands of aeons within the water, the casual ocean, and the Lord of living beings entering in each of them caused them to be fully animated. Word to word. Varshapuga, many years. Sahasra ante, of thousands of years. Tat, that. Andam, the universal globe. Udake, in the causal water. Shayam, being drowned. Kala, eternal time. Karma, action. Swabhavastha, according to the modes of nature. Jivaha, the Lord of the living beings. Ajivam, non-animated. Ajivayat, caused to be animated. So wonderful verse. And when we look and meditate on the word to word, we cannot help but feel gratitude for Krishna, especially the last line, Jivo, Ajivam, Ajivayat. So the Lord is Jivaha, means He is the Lord of all living beings, and the Lord is always animate. But Ajivam, but we are all dead, non-animated. However, when the Lord impregnates the material nature and He brings life to us, therefore one of His names is Sanjeevanam. And here He said, Ajivayat, caused to be animated. So we become animated by the supreme energy of the Lord. So how grateful we should be to the Lord. Let's look at the purport. The Lord is described here as the Jiva because He is the leader of all other Jivas, living entities. In the Vedas, He is described as Nitya, the leader of all other Nityas. The Lord's relation with the living entities is like that of the Father with the sons. The sons and the Father are qualitatively equal, but the Father is never the Son, nor is the Son ever the Father who begets. So as described above, the Lord as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu or Hiranyagarbha Super Soul enters into each and every universe and causes it to be animated by begetting the living entities within the womb of material nature, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.3. After each annihilation of the material creation, all living entities are merged within the body of the Lord. And after creation, they are again impregnated within the material energy. The material existence, therefore, the material energy is seemingly the mother of all living entities, and the Lord is the Father. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita, I am the seed-giving Father. When, however, the animation takes place, the living entities revive their own natural activities under the spell of time and energy, and thus the varieties of living beings are manifested. The Lord, therefore, is ultimately the cause of all animation and in the material world. Jai Shri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhutairmahadveyama purvipo nirmayashete yadamushu purusha bhunte gunan shodashatmaka solam krisishta bhagavan vachamsi me Shri Krishna sharanam sharanagatam katha amritam satatapivatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So very important ways to meditate on. And if we actually look around us, then we can really appreciate the Lord's creation. And we can really appreciate the prayers that Shukadeva Goswami offers in the earlier chapters of Srīmad Bhāgavatam as he is about to undertake this process of explaining the creation of the Lord. So Shukadeva Goswami says, Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase. So firstly, he offers his respectful obeisances, namaha. It is very important that as soon as we wake up, we bow down before the Lord, before the spiritual master and the superiors. Why? Because the Supreme Lord is Parasmai. He is supreme. Para means the highest. And he is Purushaya. He is a person, personality or Godhead. And Bhuyase, he is complete whole, the first Adi Purusha. And from him, Sad Udbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya. Sat Udbhava means the creation of the material world takes place. Sthana, he is the maintaining force and element, and Nirodha. And ultimately, when everything is wound up, it is through his energy that everything is happening. And just for the sake of creation, Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam, he has assumed the three modes of material nature. But he is above these three modes of material nature. Antarbhavaya Vartmani. And he is Antah Bhavaya, one who resides within us. So Krishna is near and dear to our hearts. And it is only because he is inside, we who are inanimate meaning without any energy, we become animate. Because Krishna is explained in this verse very nicely, is Jivo Ajivam Ajivayat. So we are Ajivam. We cannot have life within us. But Krishna is the supreme Jivo. And through him, Ajivayat, we become animate and we are able to do whatever we are able to do. And similarly, not only us, the 8.4 million species of life also we see that it is only due to Krishna's energy. Sad Udbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya. Sad Udbhava. So the process of creation is explained here. So in this way, we can appreciate the praise of Shukadeva Goswami. This praise from the fourth chapter of this canto, starting from verse number 12, about 13 or so verses, we can appreciate this when in detail we study the process of creation as described here by Lord Brahma to Narada. And Shukadeva Goswami is repeating the same thing to Maharaj Parikshit. Kala karma svabhavasto. So according to the eternal time and our previous karma and swabhavo, the natures that we have attained, we are situated in Krishna, then ultimately through his various expansions of Purusha. Purusha incarnations mean that when Krishna, for the purpose of creation of the material world, expands himself, so first expansion we know is Balaram, and then from Balaram, the quadruple expansion happens, and then from that quadruple expansion, another quadruple expansion happens, and then from the Shankarshana of that expansion of Mahavishnu happens, who lies on the causal ocean. And just from his breathing, from his various pores, so many universes, zillions of universes are coming into being. And in each of that universe, again, Mahavishnu expands as Garbhadata Sai Vishnu. Garbha in itself means where the creation happens. And these universes lie in the depths of the causal ocean. And over a period of time, they become manifest by the energy of the Supreme and will of the Supreme. So, Jivo, Ajivam, Ajivayat. Let's meditate on this. Life is there. Basically, it means that the being is living. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also explains, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi. The prakriti, material nature, is working under his direct superintendence. Mayadhyakshe, adhyaksha. Aksha means eyes. Adhyaksha means under the vigilance of Krishna's eyes, everything is working. So nothing is not unknown to him. Suyate sacharacharam. So all the chara means moving, and achara means non-moving objects and beings. Hetunane vakantaya. So Krishna explains to Arjuna, O Kantaya, hetunanena, meaning that there is no other cause for these apart from me. Jagat viparivartate. And in this way, the whole Jagat, the whole universe, is working under his direct superintendence, and he is also the Hetu, the direct cause of everything. As Gajendra says, Namo Namasye Kilakaranaya, that you are the Karana, Akhila Karan of everything. However, Nishkaranaya, of you, there is no Karan, there is no cause of you. You are just as existing eternally as Supreme Lord. You created everything, but no one created you. And this in itself is Adbhuta Karanaya, a wonderful, wonderful reason to be worshipping you. And this knowledge, Sarvagamam Naya Mahanavaya, is coming from the system of Parampara. And here we see how Shukadeva Goswami, when asked by Maharaj Parikshit about the process of creation, Shukadeva Goswami does not speak out of his own whims. Firstly, Shukadeva Goswami, in a mood of humility, he prays to the Supreme Lord. Namaha Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sadadbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya. And in this way, he seeks blessings of the Lord, as we know. Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me. O Krishna, please be pleased to Alankrit Shishta, decorate my words. So, and then Shukadeva Goswami, he goes to the conversation between Brahma and Narada, where the first living being Brahma, he tells Narad Muni, who asks question in regards to creation. And that conversation is repeated. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see these conversations within conversations, within conversations, within conversations. And this is the system of parampara. No one is speaking out of its own whims, but everything is based on the system of authorities. And therefore, the process of initiation is so important. What does initiation mean? Initiation basically means we submit ourselves and we accept the authority of Krishna, and secondly, the authority of a bona fide representative of Krishna, who, through this process of initiation, makes a pathway in our life so we can go back to Krishna. And in the due process, we can manage the creation that is around us, both this body and other bodies and other animate and inanimate objects. So life basically means that Krishna is the driving force. Sanjeevani Akila Shakti Dhara Swadhamna. He is Sanjeevani, Akila Shakti, and he provides all the potency and energy. Without him, we cannot even do any little thing. We cannot hear without him. We cannot speak without him. We cannot see without him. He is the essential ingredient. In fact, Yamaraj says, Otam Protam. Like in a fabric, there are the horizontal threads and the vertical threads. This is called Otam Protam. And these horizontal and vertical threads is Vishnu himself, because he is Sarvatra and Sarvada, meaning he's everywhere and at all the time. Similarly, because the Lord is within the animate and the inanimate in form of Kshirodakasai Vishnu, therefore he energizes us through the elements of his creation. Now, there are two aspects to it. Firstly, the maintenance of this body. And it is so important that we understand that this body is a gift of Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see that when Sanatana Goswami, he developed this disease, skin disease, from which pus was oozing. And he was in a very, very terrible situation and predicament, that how can this body be used for the service of Krishna? So he wanted to just end his life and commit suicide.
Close it then.
Prabhu, he, when came to know about this, he went to Sanatana Goswami and he said that this body is not yours. This body is mine. I have the right over this body, and this body is to be used for my service and for the service of the Supreme Lord. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being the Supreme Lord, he embraced, and immediately the disease was cured, and Sanatana Goswami was put in his natural position of healthy condition, swastha. So swastha means healthy condition. So healthy condition of the body and healthy condition of the mind. We have to look after these two. We have to look after our body and we have to look after our minds. Of course, in due course of time, the bodies will also deteriorate and ultimately succumb to death, because that is the process. And we have to respect the due process. But while the soul is in the body, we have to make the best use of the bad bargain and use the body for the service of Krishna. And in this, two things are very important. Firstly, the breathing, the process of breathing. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pranavaha, that I am the sound of the Om. And basically that means the breathing process. When we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So naturally, by recitation of Vedic hymns, the pranayam process we are taking, we are properly breathing. Our Guru Maharaj used to say that the breathing of the verses of Srīmad Bhāgavatam is more important than breathing of the air. Our Guru Maharaj had a very severe asthma condition. So, his breath would be not that deep, and he'd be struggling most of the time. However, when he sat on the Vyasa Asana, or when he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, then just by mere recitation of these verses, you could not actually make out that this person has any health issues. If at all, Maharaj insisted that Bhagavatam is the curing element for all ailments. So he would continuously go on reciting the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, meditating on the word-to-word meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he would very nicely try to inculcate this culture of Bhagavatam into whoever came in touch with him. It doesn't matter who that person was. Any new person would come, he would immediately make them sit down, give them Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, and then ask them, now, sing with me. So the chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And in this way, many devotees' lives became changed through this process of simply reciting. Because when we are reciting this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is life. Bhagavatam is Krishna, and essentially we are breathing Krishna. Namaha parasmai purushaya bhuyase sadutbhavasthan nirodha leelaya. And the more and more we chew these verses, and the more and more we hear these verses, the more and more these verses will speak to us and give life to us. And the more and more it will give realization about Krishna, because these verses are about Krishna. And The second thing is looking after the body. So giving the body natural things as much as possible. I had a good fortune that last Friday evening, um, His Grace Shanti Parayana Prabhu, was staying with me, and just by associating with him, and he was explaining simple things about how we should drink our water. And he was explaining that there's so much chemicals in the water nowadays that is coming through our pipes that when we drink it, it is not life-giving because through chemical treatment, everything has been destroyed. We say treatment, but it is actually mistreatment of the modern day world. So he basically said, but if you look at a lemon, and lemon has life in it. So you cut out a lemon, and the lemon, if you just leave it there, then it will go bad. That means before it was not bad, it was existing, and there was life in it. There's living cells in it. And that is due to the power of Krishna. So a simple thing of just cutting few pieces of lemon and putting it in water, uh, and then shaking that water a bit, leaving it for 1 or 2 hours, and then early in the morning, drinking that water is energizing. Where does this life come from? In the lemon or in the vegetables? Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Aushadhi, I am the herb-giving medicine. I am the juices in the vegetables. And I, through the moonlight and the sun, I nourish everything. Tunti Maharani even says in the prayers, Ime janaha padas vriddhaha supak aushadi virudaha vana adi nadi udanvanto vi etan tatava vikshite. Krishna, you just by your vigilance, by looking at everything, you make it, flourishing. All the towns, Ime Janapadas Vriddhaha, are flourishing. The oceans, the minerals in the oceans, the medicines, Oshadi, the herbs, the vegetables, the rivers, they are flowing very nicely, providing fresh water, and so and so. And so, as much as possible, as Sakira Prabhu always mentions, that those food stuff which are coming from the land, and there is hardly any processes before they end up in our tables, those are the life-giving foods. Fruits, vegetables, watermelon, lemon, herbs, coriander, mint, and so many varieties of vegetables that we can get. If they are organic, they're much, much better. But all this is coming from Jivo Ajivam Ajivayat. All these things actually are Ajivanam. They don't have their own energy. However, Jivo, Krishna is the supreme Jivo, and he is injecting Ajivayat. He is injecting energies in these elements and making them life. And when we put these lifestyle and offer it as bhoga to Krishna, it becomes prasada. And then when we take these elements, then this body, which is basically dying every day, it can be sustained. And the intelligence is refined to have this power to assimilate the message of Krishna. And before this body succumbs to death, we are at least able to merge our consciousness in that supreme power, who is the cause of all causes. and be reclaimed by him and go back home, back to Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji and Matajis. Any questions or comments? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. And Krishna willing, we will see you again tomorrow morning. Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Beautiful
Thank you.
class.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.